All right, well, hello and welcome to your Pilates/yoga conditioning class. We're going to play around with some different tools today. I think it'll be really fun. So a couple things you're going to need to get into this. A bolster, if you don't have one, a couple of firm pillows stacked, or a couch cushion works really great. Something to glide on, you only need one. We're going to put the hands on it. And then a set of yoga blocks. When we get to the yoga portion of class towards the end too, myofascial release balls, but you won't need those for the first 30 minutes. So we're actually going to start on our bolsters. So we're going to actually bring a block with you, and we're going to lay on the bolster. But for most of us, we're a little bit longer than the bolster, so that's where the block is going to come into play. So your upper body is going to be supported by the bolster. The block's going to be underneath the back of the head. So just getting yourself kind of set up here. We're actually going to start in a little bit of a restorative posture just to kind of land into our practice. So let your arms just rest down by the side. You can have your legs long or bent, whatever feels more comfortable for you. But we're going to be here for just a little bit, just a few deep breaths, just to kind of transition. So once you land, take a couple of deep breaths. And then if it feels nice, add in just a little bit of gentle windshield wipering of the legs. Now, keep in mind as we start to get into some of the core focused work here, the bolster is supplying an unstable surface. So only windshield wiper the knees as much as you can without obviously falling off onto one side. All right, so we're going to keep everything as it is, head and body. Bring your legs into a butterfly position. So bottom of the feet together, knees are out nice and wide. Fingertips are going to come, actually they're not behind your head. You're going to bring your forearms together over the center of your body. We're going to lift the legs up so you're kind of like in a tabletop position, but keep the bottom of the feet together. We're going to open everything out like a book. So it's like your knees and your forearms are heading towards the floor as wide as your hips will allow. And as you open to the side, same thing with the core. Keep the belly button drawing in towards the spine. Keep the low back nice and flat onto your surface. Bring the feet back together, the forearms back together. Open it up. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back. So really just starting to open up through the body, finding that range of motion where we can keep the back side of the body connected with the bolster and open through the hips, the chest. Let's go 2 more here. Really starting to feel those hips fire up. Keep the knees really wide, right? So it's just the feet coming back together, the forearms coming back together. The knees are staying wide. And release. Keep the feet together, but let the feet come towards the floor. Reach back, remove the block from underneath your head. Let the fingertips come back behind the head. So we're going to kind of come into a crunching position. So lift into your crunch. Again, if my skin rubs against the mic, I'm sorry, I'm having microphone issues. And we're going to lift and lower the legs. So keep the knees wide, keep the feet together, keep the belly button drawing in so the low back stays grounded, and then lift your legs with control. Slowly tap the pinky edge of the feet back towards the floor. So the bolster is giving us more range of motion. Normally the floor would be our end range, but now we can go past that. So really engaging that low abdomen and the hip flexors here. Nice and slow and controlled. Make sure you're breathing, keeping all of that engagement. Can you lift your upper body up just another little centimeter, a little something? Like you're trying to bring your wide knees to your elbows. Let's go 2 more here. Really starting to feel that core come online. Last one. And release. Go ahead and come into a tabletop position. So hands are going to tap the knee, lift the upper body into that crunch position. We're going to go opposite arm as leg. So right arm, left leg extend. See if you can get your left heel to tap the floor. Bring everything back in. Switch. See if you can get your right heel to tap the floor. So as you really brace the core, and the heel to the floor, again, is just providing that level change, so making it a little bit harder. Stay with the breath. Let's go 2 more sets here. So left and then right. How's that core feeling? Left and then right and release. Whew, my core is definitely woke up. Go ahead and release. You can set your bolster off to the side. We're going to move on to the blocks. So go ahead and grab your blocks. We're going to stay seated. Try to do the best angle for the camera here. So we're going to come back into that butterfly sit. So bottom of the feet together, knees are wide. Blocks are oriented either on their mid or their highest setting, kind of right next to your hips. Now we're going to press the hands into the block to pick the hips up and then slowly lower the hips back down. So the higher the blocks, the higher you can get, more control, but also you have to lift yourself up a little higher as well. So find your setup. If you want and if you can, lift the feet, but that's going to be pretty challenging, so I'll leave that up to you. And see if you can really control the sitting of the hips back down towards the floor. So lots of stability there, lots of control, engaging upper body. And we don't want the hips to swivel forward and back, so really keep that core strong and engaged. We have one more. Now, I'm going to just kind of audibly explain it because it's going to be a lot anyway. So we're going to lift up. We're going to shift the hips forward towards the heels, shift the hips back, lower it down. So we are going to play around with moving a little bit. So lift up. Keep everything as is. Shift your hips towards the heels. Bring your hips back. Lower down with control. Lift. Shift forward. Shift back. Lower down. Now really keep that core engaged here. We want to keep the chest stacked on top of the hips the entire time. So make sure the hips aren't going forward and the chest is going back. Bring everything forward so the shoulders are in front of the fingertips. Bring everything back, shoulders over wrists, lower down. Now, how slow and controlled can you go here? That's the challenge. It's easy sometimes to do things really fast to get them over with, but staying in the work can really be a challenge. We've got one more here. And release. Nice job. All right, we're going to use the blocks. We're going to flip it over. We've done this one before, but I find this one so good. It's going to be an offset bird dog. So block will be oriented on their lowest setting. Right knee on a block, left hand on a block, and then right hand and left knee are going to be free. So if you need a little bit more support, you'll have your right toes will stay on the floor. If you want to challenge yourself, less support, point the toes so you've got nothing on the floor. Go ahead and bring your right hand to tap your left knee. With control, extend them out. Keep that core engaged, don't sag through the low back. Bring everything back in, tap hand to knee. So again, we're playing around with these unstable surfaces. We have the bolster, now the blocks. Challenging, building strong functional core. Keep breathing here. Now we're going to extend and reach out, hold for 2 counts. 1, 2, bring it back in. Let's do that again this time, 3 counts. So making it a little harder, staying with those long levers. Bring it back in. We're going to go all the way up to 5. Extend, hold 4, 3, 2, bring it back in. 1 more, extend. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it back in. 1 more time, extend. Now, listen closely. You're going to take your right arm towards the right side of your space, left leg towards the left side of your space. Bring it back through. Balance, 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 balance. Take it back out towards the side with control. Strong and stable. You got this. Whew. One more. Hold it out towards the side. We're going to work our way back down that ladder. Hold 5, 4. Try not to lean to the right. Bring it back. Sweep it back towards the sides. Hold 4, 3, 2. Bring it back. Sweep it back out. Hold 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. We got 2 more. Out, hold. 2, 1. Bring it back. out hold. 1, bring it back, release. Whew. Nice job. All right, switch your blocks out. So now you'll have a block underneath your left knee and underneath your right hand. Again, toes tucked on the floor, a little bit more stable. No toes, a little bit less stable. And tap left hand to right knee, and then reach and extend nice and long. Bird dog, you got it. So really focus here on not sinking into the low back on the extension. So slow it down. Really think navel to spine. So the low back is not arching, just as if we were doing this on our back. We think long, broad, flat back. You got it. All right, one more. We're going to do that little bit of a hold. So reach and extend, hold 1, bring it back in. Reach and extend, hold 2, 1, bring it back in. Reach and extend, hold 3, 2, 1, bring it back in. Reach and extend, hold 4, 3, 2, bring it back in. Reach and extend, hold 5, 4, 3. Don't bring it back in. Sweep it towards the sides. Bring it back through center. Now, how high can you keep your leg up without arching that low back? So sometimes we get tired. We tend to extend the spine, and then the low back, the tailbone, and the back of the ribcage are pulling towards each other. So what I'm inviting you to do is find a flat back. Imagine if you were laying on the floor, you'd have your low back maintaining contact throughout the movement. So that's what we're trying to achieve here in our tabletop variation. The next time you sweep wide, let's hold. Let's work our way back down the ladder. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it back through center. Keep that leg up. Get that glute involved. Take it towards the side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Sweep it wide. Hold 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Sweep wide. Hold 2, 1. And one more. Sweep it wide. Hold 1. Bring everything back and release. Nice job. All right, we just have 2 more exercises with the blocks. We're going to be on our back, supine position. So you'll need 2 blocks. They're going to be on the same side. So the first one, let's do the right side to begin. It's going to be oriented on its highest setting, and you're going to kind of tuck it between your heel and your butt. Oops. If you can get it there, right? Okay, so that's just going to keep us from using a whole lot of momentum. Now, the next block, I told you we were going to have a lot of fun today. I'm playing around. The next block, oriented on its highest setting, knee and elbow. Now, hold all of that. Your other side reaches long, and just jackknife your other side. So on the side with the blocks, really squeeze. Press your elbow in towards the knee. Pull your heel in towards the glute. Now, if this is plenty challenging, I want you to stay exactly as you are. If you'd like a little bit more, let's rock and roll it. So the blocks are keeping you, if you're doing the rock and roll, from using momentum. You physically can't kick your leg. You can't kick the arms. You're having to use your core here to rock up to your sit-up and to bring it back down. So you're either staying with the jackknife variation or you're rock and rolling it, trying to challenge that core. One more. And stop. All right, let's switch that over to the other side. Whew. Okay. Elbow knee. Foot hamstring. Let's all start with the jackknife. Get a little familiar with this thigh. Now, especially if you're just sticking with the jackknife, it can be really easy to get lazy here over on the left side. So I really want you to imagine you're trying to get your elbow to touch your knee. So it's like you're smushing the block. Now, if you want, let's rock and roll. 10. Two, we got one more. And release. Nice job. All right, we got one more move with our blocks. This time it's going to be placed. First variation could be between the inner thighs, which will be just a little bit more towards beginner intermediate. If you want to take it up a notch, place it between the ankles or the calves. So we're gonna take the legs straight up. We're gonna take the arms down by our sides and then out about 18 inches. If you want a little bit more support, palms face down. Less support, palms face up. So you have options to level up, to level down. Listen to your body, adjust accordingly. We're going straight leg windshield wipers. So place your block, place your hands, bring your knees into your chest. When you're ready, straighten the legs, find your windshield wiper. So as you take your legs over to one side, make sure your opposite shoulder doesn't leave the floor. If your opposite shoulder leaves the floor, that's your in range. You want to stop before you get to that point and then switch to the other side. Actively squeezing the block between the legs wherever you placed it. Another variation I didn't mention here is bent legs. So if straight legs is a lot, just do the same thing with the bent legs. And you can also do this without the block. So lots of options for everybody. Now, as you start to lean over, let's hold on to that pause. So lean over, hold, 3, 2, 1, take it to the other side. So find your in range. It should feel a little uncomfortable. Hold 3, 2, a little shaky, bring it to your center. Again, 2 more times just like that. In range, let it catch the obliques. 3, 2, 1. Other side, find your in range. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back up. 1 more each side. Hold 3, 2, 1. Bring it back up through center. Hold 3, 2, 1, and release. Oh my goodness, nice job. All right, for our next little circuit, we have no equipment. We're gonna do everything prone on our bellies. So flip it over. All right, so we're gonna go swimmers first. So this is gonna be a little different than a more traditional swimmer. Start with your arms overhead now. For my microphone's sake, I can't physically put my head down, otherwise I'm like literally laying on my microphone. But for you, ground through the forehead, ground through the pelvis, ground through the tops of the feet. So we're gonna take the arms out wide. We're gonna flip the palms to face the sky when they reach the hips. We're gonna bend the elbows and pull the hands up the back. So let's go through this slowly. I know that sounded like a lot, but don't worry, we got this. All right, so lift the arms, lift the chest. Sweep your arms out wide towards the side walls. Start to sweep them back towards the hips. Flip your palms so they face the ceiling. Bend your elbows, bring your fingertips towards one another as you slide the hands without touching your body up your back towards mid-back, and then release, come back all the way around, lower it down. Let's do that again. Lift, circle it around. Once the hands are by the hips, flip so the palms face the sky. Bend the elbows, don't touch your body, don't touch your body, don't touch your body. Slide the fingertips up the back. Slowly release, unravel, back down. Let's go again, 3 more times. Try not to touch your body. That's the effort here, is this mobility and strength through the shoulders. And for some of us who are lacking mobility in that region, might be really tough. So really focus on grounding through the pelvis, ground through the tops of the feet. Don't touch the body, don't touch the body, don't touch the body. We go, right here. And release. Nice job. All right, come back to your prone position. Hands are going to be down by your sides. Turn so your palms are facing your hips, so they're facing the body. We're going to reach the fingertips towards the toes, which will peel the upper body off the floor. Once you're at your full extension there, bend the knees like you're trying to touch your heels. You might not be anywhere close. That's okay. Pick your knees up a little bit more. Feel that hamstring engagement. Extend the legs. Lower the upper body. Let's do that again. Reach the fingers towards the toes to lift the chest. Bend the knees, reach towards the heels. Lift your knees another little inch. Feel the contraction through the hamstrings. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Heels to butt, heels to butt, heels to butt. Lower the legs, lower the upper body. 3 more, just like that. Reach upper body. Keep reaching. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Bend the knees. Kick your heels towards your tush a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Extend and lower down. 2 more. How close can you get your heels to your butt? Hold, squeeze, contract, extend. 1 more. Squeeze, 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 and release. Nice job. All right, here's where you need your glider. Whew, I don't know about you, but I am literally pouring sweat. Okay, so I have to be this way, but I just want to let you know where we're going just because of my mat. But we are going to be in a gate pose, so you have your right leg long with the arch of the foot in line with your left knee. You only need one glider. We're going to put both hands on the glider. And if you've ever done like an ab roller exercise, that's kind of what we're doing here. So both hands on the glider. Find your gate post. Make sure you've got enough gliding surface in front of you. So ab roller, slightly extend forward. Now your hips can come with you or not. Feel your core catch and then pull yourself back in so the hands are under the chest. Glide, glide, glide. Brace through the core. Pull it back in. So hips can stay back or bring your hips with you, making it a little bit more challenging to push and pull. Really focusing on that core engagement here. Also getting a nice little hip stretch, inner thigh stretch with that straight leg. Make sure your straight leg, your foot is grounded. So you're pushing through that outside pinky toe. You're not rolling the foot in. Oh, geez. Maybe even feeling upper back. Let's go one more here. Ooh. And release. Right into the other side. So we got 6 on the other side. How far out can you get? If you feel like you're not being challenged, go an extra little inch. Can you get your hips closer towards the floor? Whew. Definitely felt that one. Keep pushing into that glider. Halfway, there's 3. You got this, stay with it. Oh, 4, we got 2 more. 5. Oh, 6. Whew, nice job. All right, we have a little bit of hamstring work, which is going to take us into some more hamstring work. So set up like you would if you were coming into a pigeon posture, but take that glider underneath your back knee. So this is going to be a really active pigeon here. So you can keep the foot down, which will give you a little bit more support as we start to glide. Another option is to bend the knee, making it a little harder. So take away the hands. We're going to eccentrically load back and pull it in. I am so sweaty, like my glider is not even moving. I got to put down. My knee is like just sliding on the glider. So if you're super sweaty, like me, if you're summertime and it's hot in your space, okay, there we go. All right, glide it back. Use your hips to pull it in and together. Now you can bend the knee, keeping the foot away from the floor, making it a little bit more challenging, or you can drop the foot to the floor and use that to pull and push you back in and out. Hopefully feeling the outside of the hip on that front leg. One more here. And release. All right, set up on the other side. Let's go. 6 reps here. Take your hands away from the floor. Pull it in. Use your hamstring to push it back. Now, if you have your heel towards your glute, hopefully feeling that hamstring contraction on the leg that's physically moving. 2 more. Also balance. 1 more. And release. Nice job. All right, 1 more little bit on the knees, and then we're going to get off the knees. We have our tall kneeling hamstring lean back. So we're going to try to reach a fingertip back towards the floor. An option, if we have limited flexibility through the quads and the hips, is to have some blocks back behind you that you can reach towards. So as we lean back, you've got something to tap. So I'm going to have mine oriented on their lowest setting, outside of my toes. You can do mid or high, whatever makes more sense for you. But tall kneeling hamstrings. And I will say for this one, there wasn't a lot of options for the other kneeling ones. But if being on the knees like that doesn't feel good for you, feel free to do a traditional bridge pose and just hold it until we're done. So that way you've got an option to get off the knees. All right, find your tall kneeling position. Make sure the hips stay forward over the knees. We don't want to just hinge the hips back. We want to engage the hamstring. So as you come back, tap, come back up, 6. Stay on the same side. Keep the hips pushing forward, 5. I actually think I can reach towards the floor. I'm going to go for it. Whew, definitely felt that. Floors are better. for my body today. 2. We're not going to rest at this next one. Just switch to the other side. Oh, that side I can't even get close to the floor. So that's why the blocks are there. They'll help us. 5, 4, 3. We got 2 more here. 2. 1 more. Oh my gosh, keep the hips forward, keep the hips forward, keep the hips forward. And release. Whoo, holy Nelly. All right, find your wall space. So here's where you're gonna need that wall space. I'm gonna actually not be facing with you. I'm gonna go towards this wall, but I think it's pretty accessible without having to necessarily see it. We're basically doing wall bridges, so you might have to kind of booty scoot your way in. Have your feet a little bit higher than your knees. So rather than this perfect 90-90, once you find your 90-90, knees stacked over hips, ankles in line with knees, walk your feet up another foot length. So I still have my knees over my hips, so make sure your hips aren't so far away from the wall, you don't have that alignment, but the feet are gonna be not in line with the knees. So we're going 12 repetitions, wall bridges, push through the entire foot, pick up your pelvis, low back, mid back, all the way onto the shoulders. Just make sure you're not on the neck. We're going to slowly unravel halfway and then lift back up. So 12, halfway down. 11, squeeze the glutes at the top. 10, you got this, stay with it. 9, really strong, press through the feet. 8, stay with it, stay with it. 7, squeeze the glutes at the top. 6, whoo. 5, you got this, stay with it. 4, almost there. 3, now in 2, we're gonna hold up for a 10 pulse and a 10 count hold. So find at the top, lower an inch, lift an inch. 10, lower an inch, lift an inch. 9, 8, squeeze the glutes. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, this is it, hold at the top, hold 10, press to the feet. 9, 8, can you lift your hips a little bit more? 7, hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lower down, oh, release. Holy hamstrings, I hope you felt that. I hope you felt that. All right, we just have one more little circuit, and this one you don't need any equipment for, so nothing fancy. That's the nice stuff, right? When you just show up and not have to have anything. All right, so we're gonna do a variation of sprinter sit-up, single leg roll-up-ish twist, whatever you want to call it. I don't have a fancy name for it yet. But start with your right knee bent, your left leg long. So in a sprinter sit-up, we come up knee to chest. So we're going to try to do that too. But when the knee comes to the chest, we're also going to open up into an open arm twist. So watch me 1, and then we'll do 8 on each side together. So you're going to come up, you're going to open to your twist. Slowly lower, with control, lower back down. So that's for 8 per side. My right knee into your chest so your foot's off the floor. Keep the foot off the floor the entire time. If it gets to be too much, feel free to put the foot down at any time. Listen to your body. All right, when you're ready, we have 8 repetitions. So draw the navel in towards the spine. Sit up, open and twist. 8, with control. Come back down. Can you keep the foot off the floor? 7, open twist. Keep that knee up if you can. 6, bringing that knee in towards the chest, focusing on that core. You got this. 5, 4, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. We're almost there. Open twist. That should feel hopefully pretty good on the spine. 3, 2, we got 1 more. And release it down. All right, let's switch sides. So extend your right leg nice and long. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Arms come overhead. Lift up, open twist. 8, lower with control. Up, open. 7, lower with that control. Come up, open. 6. Keep drawing into the spine, especially when we're up. We don't want to feel that in the low back. Here we are, halfway. 4. You got this, you're almost there. 3. 2. One more. Up, open, close, release. All right, we have one move and we are done with our Pilates slash yoga conditioning slash core slash glute work, whatever you want to call this nonsense of a class. All right, we're going to come into a boat pose. We're going to hold it. So you've got several options. Let me show you what we got. So feet on the floor, hands behind the knees, lean back, hold. So this is option number 1. Option number 2, hold the legs and float them. Option number 3, no hands. Option number 4, hold on to your feet. So you're more of a V-sit. So decide what you want. Lots of options. We're going to hold it for 30 seconds. So meet me in your boat whenever you are ready. Hold 30 seconds. So breathe here. Bent legs, straight legs, holding, not holding. Deep breath. You got it. You are 15 seconds in. Try not to lose it. Try not to lose it. Don't roll back. You got this. Now, if you have the legs straight up and you're holding on to them, here's my invitation to you for the last 10. Let go. Ooh, and try not to drop your legs. Keep them at the same height. Ooh, my legs are shaking. Hold 5. Hold 4. Hold 3. Hold 2. Done. All right, that's it. Pilates. Awesome job.